This is going to be a video on what I like to call boxing yoga. For this one, it's going to be considered a stretch routine that is good for some boxers out there who's always constantly training on their what you consider the standing position, where you're always in the feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, and you're putting a lot of pressure on your considered spine. So this is going to be kind of like a comfortable yoga stretch, and all this stuff you can do as well with an app. You don't have to remove all the electronics out the way. So if you have an app with you, you can go ahead and utilize it right now. Now, with these stretches, keep in mind that some of these are kind of considered boxing, and if you want to do it for MMA, that's fine as well. These stretches are going to be more for like the arms, upper back. And while you're doing the stretches, if you're like involved in the boxing team, you want to read some boxing articles, that's okay as well. If you would like to review some videos or listen to some boxing documentaries, boxing videos on how to improve a specific boxing component like offense or defense or jabs or combination or avoiding a punch, you may do so. With yoga, my understanding is that you want to be in a position called relax. I know sometimes in yoga they're going to have you do some type of movements that do require sometimes contracting the muscles, like the cobra stretch was like the abdominal and back stretch. The what you consider some of the stretches that you need to pull your own limbs with that does require a little bit of contracting, grasping. My understanding too in yoga, you don't have to stay in a still position if you want to what you consider add some motion to it. That's okay as well. With yoga, I've done a few more. I've done some where it's relaxing, where they want you just to stretch out your legs, stretch out your arms, and pull some of the limbs away. And I've done some power ones where you kind of have to contract certain positions. You have to be in certain we consider a body movement. So I did some through some tough ones, and some what you consider relaxing ones. Now with this stretch right here, this is going to be called the back stretch or the upper body stretch. Now this stretch right here is going to be what you consider the kind of like the cobra stretch. So you can do that on the Predator or this machine that I'm using right now. If you guys want, just turn to one side and stretch out your arms. See if you get a deeper stretch. And if you want to put your hand on that knee. And when you put it on the hand knee, try to push, and add some, create some what you consider a deeper stretch if you could. Now, if you're not in what you consider the ability to go ahead and use one arm, if you're still using both arms, that's okay as well. Now, if you want to release a yawn and you want to listen exhale, that's you're more than welcome to. That's okay. It's natural when doing some of the yoga stuff, especially when you're moving the body around and stretching it out. Now, with the app, like I mentioned before, try to have it wherever you can see it, where you feel comfortable. That way, you're doing two things at once. You're improving your yoga, which is your health, and also you're improving your education. You're getting up to date with your business, with your major, with your sport, with your stocks, with your news articles, with what you have going on. From there, what I like to do, I like to lay down on a mattress. And when I lay down, I want to make sure that I do it immediately after. That way, I'm not putting any more pressure on the spine. And from there, you kind of want to just relax. If you want to bend the knees and fold it, it'll help to straighten out the back. If you want to push out a little bit, pushing down on the hips, try to straighten your back out, try to get a stretch, more than welcome to. From there, you can do an inhale, exhale type of motion. You can just relax the neck too as well, laying back, lean, stretch out the body like you would, like if you're waking up from bed. If you enjoy a stretch that you're in right now, if you feel like turning, just go ahead and turn into that stretch. And try to do normally what you think that would naturally come from you, as far as stretching, as far as what type of movement you occur. But do not get off the floor. Try to maintain yourself on the ground though. From there, you can stretch out the side of the body by kicking the leg over, and then the opposite arm. And if you want to look away or look at the other direction, you're more than welcome to. And for this stretch too, you can use your app as well if you want to look at it, if you want to read an article, you're more than welcome to. Some people call it interdisciplinary, interdisciplinary. And interdisciplinary is using two methods to solve a single problem, or you can use two methods in engaging and performing an activity. So for these two methods, you're going to be using what you consider the stretching, the yoga, while you're reading on your app and looking at your app too, listening to an article, listening to a podcast. That way, you got to have like two things at once going on. Now, if you want to take a break from the app and just relax, just put the app down and just stretch out like you normally would without the app in your hand. And once in a while, if you want to get back into it, go ahead. What I'm doing, I'm taking a kind of like a law school admission test where I'll be reading the questions and try to select the right answer. Once in a while, I may show you if I got the answer correct. Now, stretch out the other side. Now you're stretching out the other side. You still have the app in your hand. You're still able to use it. Notice how I'm stretching out one side of my leg and I have the other arm on the opposite directions. This gives me that stretch on the side. If you're doing this on your own, you don't have to keep up to my pace. If you think it's kind of a long period, or if you think it's kind of slow, you can start picking up or add some of your own styles of stretches. If you feel like getting back into it with me, that's fine as well. A little bit about myself: I used to be an instructor for the recruits in boot camp. I was on a boxing team. I was on a wrestling team. I used to coach as well. So I have experience dealing with specific sports, especially with the muscles appropriate for the boxers and MMA. So I'm trying to give you as much good stretches as I can. I'm gonna try to give you guys some floor stretches. That way you have what you consider a good basic routine. Like this stretch right here is called a quadricep stretch, where you kick one leg back out. It doesn't have to be standing, and you don't have to be leaning on a wall. You can actually be laying down on the floor and just having a good stretch right there. Nice and relaxed. Relaxing the spine, relaxing the back, relaxing the neck. Now, if you're doing the quadricep stretch, you're more than welcome to take a break from the same stretch and then do the same leg again. And when you do the same leg again, try to go for a deeper stretch or just go for the same stretch. It's up to you. Just nice and relaxed. like I mentioned before, if you want to do your own stretch, that's fine as well. If you want to switch quicker sooner or later, that's fine as well. I just got done switching sides right now, alternating and trying not to make it a big deal. Either switch to the side or rotate as smoothly as possible, if that makes sense. Also, keep in mind some of these workouts can be done in your own house or even at your own floor. You don't have to really go to the health club or have a gym membership to lay down and do some stretches. This is something that you can do on your own. Now, same thing as before. Whenever you're stretching out one leg on one side, if you want to take a break from it and then get back into the same leg to go for a deeper stretch, the same stretch, you're more than welcome to. With some of these workouts too, you're gonna have time to read an article, look in an app, or even probably do an exam. So that's why I recommend that you can do two things at once. And remember that information, two things at once, is called interdisciplinary. If you look for a single vocabulary on performing two movements at once. Here's another stretch that you can do as well with the legs. You're gonna bring the leg in, and when you bring the leg in, you're gonna be doing a stretch right there. Now from here, if you want to bring both legs up and then bring one leg down, it gives you kind of like a better stretch sometimes, bringing both legs in and bring it back down. And also you can rotate as well. That way you're not just doing one leg at a time. You got the other leg as well incorporated. When it comes to doing these workouts, you're gonna be able to do these type of workouts, um, like wherever you see a space available on the ground, on the floor, on the beach if you want to, on the park, wherever you consider you got some space environment you feel comfortable in. No, with stretches, once you have a good stretch right now on both legs, you can go ahead and if you have something to grasp onto with the ankles, with the foot area, try to pull your lower back down towards your feet, so you get yourself a little back stretch. Also, if you want, put your hands down and apply some pressure and try to see if you can lift your back away from your feet. You perhaps just stretching out with the bottom of the heel. Try to pull, stretch out your back a little bit, stomach. If you got something to grab on behind you as well, you can go ahead and grab it. Try to get deeper stretch in your body. With these stretches, as far as yoga and stuff like that, if you want to take a break while you're doing yoga and lean on your back a little bit, just because you feel comfortable, that's you're more than welcome to. You don't have to remain in the position where you're always doing activity. And this is a good way to make sure that you got the some leg stretches going on.